writing a bunch of code by hand, we're going to generate code. To give you a little example, there's a project I'm working on right now, which is why I decided to do this topic, where a friend of mine was writing a whole bunch of the same type of code over and over again. It was really, really tedious. And I said, I can write a code generator for you and generate all that code. So in about 2,000 lines of code generator code and a 700-line model, it generates 30,000 lines of code. And that's stuff that he would have had to write by hand for this project. He's a little happier right now. So, and you know, it got a little tedious for me at sometimes, but when you start, the starting part's the fun part and the easy part, and you get kind of bogged down in details. So we're not going to get in the super detail-y side, but I'll give you a taste of what some of this is going to be like. Let's see. So a couple type of things like on that project, we had Java Bean properties. We had some interfaces representing the model classes. We had implementations for those classes. And then we also had Hibernate XML. We were kind of forced to fit in somebody else's ecosystem. We had some DAOs that we had to write for everything. We had some search criteria objects, and there was a couple other things in there. Oh, Android versions of all these as well. So it ended up being a ton of code that, but with a very simple model, we can describe it all and then just generate it all. So what I want to do is I want to start by writing a really simple domain-specific language to describe a simple class model. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a tool called xtext. Actually, I do not have an internet connection here, do I? Well, if you do a search online for xtext, it's XTEXT, and Eclipse, you'll find it really, really easily. We're going to use a tool called xtext. I've plugged that into Eclipse here, and it allows you to specify your model using a grammar. Has anybody here ever used a tool like Antler or Lex or Yak or something like that? So I see a few hands coming up there. So you're kind of familiar with taking the idea of describing what you want your language to look like, and then having the code for that be generated behind the scenes. Xtext takes it a whole new direction.